I came in this building 15 years ago. Art in general is something that you do without reason.
LIC Arts Open is an arts festival, a 3-day arts festival that highlights artist studios, pop-up shows, and performances by artists who are working in Long Island City.
Like a lot of good things, it was probably started in a moment of naivete when I was surrounded by fine artists, sculptors, painters, photographers. And so I got chatting to a fellow artist one day and I said, how come there's no big arts festival celebrating all these wonderful, incredibly talented people? I was chatting outside in the street, casually, to Karen Dimmitt, and she was like, well, maybe we should start one. And that is literally how we started. And that was somewhere around February 11th of 2011.
My idea of Richard Mazda being the entrepreneur for the LIC Arts Open was a good call on my part because he has such energy and he was great with connecting the businesses with the artists and getting financial support. He just has such a great vision and he's an impresario. You know, he loves to put on productions. So I ran into him in the streets and said, you know what, we should maybe take this over and make a bigger thing of it.
And literally within 2 or 3 months, we'd managed to raise about $30,000 from private companies like Rock Rose and TF Cornerstone and Plaxall, Silver Cup Studios, Kaufman Astoria Studios, Diego Salazar Antiques. So we just went out to all the people in that area and asked if they would support the festival. And the most amazing thing was that the festival was started with a $10,000 grant from, wait for it, the Court Square Diner. That's right, the diner at Court Square gave me $10,000, which really got us going. I asked, I said, well, you know, this is really incredibly generous. Why? And they said, look, you know, back when we bought the diner, the artists that lived in this area, because it was a rundown area, they were the people that were coming here in the middle of the night, having, you know, ordering egg on a roll, getting some tea or coffee, and so they, you know, they said, we're paying the artists back.
Richard is fabulous. His vision is really expansive. I knew nothing about being an arts administrator, and Richard has big dreams.
What I found when I created this idea of the LIC Arts Open was there was a huge amount of desire for it to happen. I had a lot more of an ambitious take on it. You know, I wanted to do some music, I wanted to have some dance, I wanted to include film. Maybe the first festival was overly ambitious because we did it for 9 days. We did 2 weekends and loads of events and nearly exhausted ourselves, but we founded something really, really good. After the first year or two, we then reduced it to a 5-day festival. Karen was so important as a co-founder in the first few years. She pulled off this great exhibition in 2014 called Upstanders, where I had secured a lot of space in the factory building, and Karen came up with an incredible concept that filled all this space, working with other curators as well. From that, the factory then offered me a permanent gallery space. So then the LIC Arts Open grew into a place that had its own gallery. The Open Studios is a big central part of what we do. An Open Studios means that you go to a building where there are, in one particular building, there are hundreds of artist studios.
The Long Island City Arts Open has definitely helped me make connections with people, you know, either not maybe directly in sales, but indirectly, exhibition opportunities, meeting other artists. And it's a great way to have all your friends and family come.
LIC Arts Open, it's been happening for many years, so I participate every year in it because it's a really nice event.
It's just amazing because, you know, it's become so popular, and I like to think the artists should take some credit for that.
The festival itself isn't necessarily the only game in town, but it still is something that people coalesce around making something special of it.